Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or all my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. It is good to be here this morning. Wow, I missed you all on Friday, and thank you for cheering for us while we were away at our hockey tournament. It has been an interesting weekend. Hello there. Good morning. I wasn't sure if I was going to be here this morning. I'll be honest with you. After the weekend of fun, I wasn't sure if I'd be up and channeling this morning, but here I am. It was a glorious weekend, and I thank you all. I really do for cheering for us. It really made a difference. You know, I showed some of the team the comments on the social media feeds with all the support, and I'll tell you, support is a great thing. You know, just to know that there are people rooting for you and cheering for you and holding you up is a glorious, glorious feeling. And it kind of, got me thinking a little bit about that at a deeper level on how much that means just to know that there's someone there. And it is a wonderful, wonderful feeling. It's great. Oh, hello from Turkey. Look at you guys all coming in. It's good to see you. I did do some channeling. I was up. I kind of just went to bed last night with the intention of if I get up, I get up. If I don't, it's okay. And I did wake up and I did do some channeling. I've got a couple pages here that I want to go through. So I do have quite a bit to talk about this morning, and then we'll take a few questions as well. Here we are, ticking along through December. The energy that's moving in this week is very interesting. We've got a lot going on energetically, really. We've got new moon, there's a retrograde, we have a 12-12 portal coming up our way tomorrow. And what does that mean for many of us? The energy that pushed through for me this morning was well, it had a few layers to it, but I'll peel it apart for you here. The healing journey. We seem to be moving into a faster pace with our own healing this week. There seems to be a deepened awareness of with what we need to kind of tap into, with what we need to let go of, with what we need to push through. And there seems to be a sudden awareness. Now, with sudden awarenesses, it's like, oh my gosh, this is going on around me. I need to work through this. There's a lot of relationship stuff this week, both with relationships with ourselves and relationships with other people. The healing energy is going to be pushed on us this week with it's time to really dig deep here. And a lot of it has to do with a few things. Number one, we are getting closer to the end of the year. So some closure is being asked for, and pushing forward through that is going to be a big, big feel this week. You may be feeling a lot. You may be feeling energy from different levels, some sadness, some happiness, some not understanding. It's going to have a really big feel. So what are you feeling? Is kind of where spirit wanted us to start. Is what are you feeling? What are you tapping into? The other push that was really interesting, 'cause I had all the stuff going on around me with emotions and energy and closure and healing, and being asked to kind of push through that. Then it shifted to this motivation, and it shifted into adventure and feeling into out of. I know that sounds really weird. Feeling into and out of comfort zones, and that really echoed very loudly from spirit. There is a push to continue to grow deeper and deeper. And there always is that push when it comes to spirit. We're here to learn, we're here to grow, we're here to sift and sort through our experiences. But the other thing that really came up is, and spirit kind of changed my focus a little bit. I literally felt my focus realigning with what is still left of 2023. Now we kind of start looking ahead a lot this time of year, right? We're worried about like the Christmas season. We're worried about what we're gonna do for 2024, what things are gonna look like. And spirit just went, "Whoop, come on into what's left here. There's still 2023. We still have some weeks left. We still have some untangling to do. And we're pushing up against a ton of stuff. We're pushing up against timelines. We're pushing up against expectations. And spirits literally hit the pause button for me with let's pause on that and really focus on the moment here and the energy that we're still in and allowing ourselves to feel that support for what's still left here, the healing work, the power of now, and supporting ourselves and supporting others through that. Now, when it comes to supporting others, and I said it to a few people in my life, let's just enjoy each other through the holidays. Let's just do the food thing and the hangout thing and adventure out into, whatever comes our way, and allowing that to be the space that we're kind of sitting in. We tend to try and organize too much this time of year. We tend to really push against what needs to be, and to really settle into, let's just allow and let's just enjoy. And that's going to be a big push over the next couple weeks, is just allowing and enjoying. Now, I want to talk about 1212. So 1212 is is a big powerful number. 12 is understanding the whole picture. Resolution comes in under 12. And some of this is in your own life, and some of it you will be watching others come to some resolutions. So the people around us that we're close to do have, or we have to kind of remember, they're going through their own resolutions and their own conclusions and their own personal growth. Now, what spirit really leaned me into with this is wholeness, coming into back to yourself with this wholeness, coming back into the space of understanding that you are whole. And there may be things that are going on in your life that give you this feeling of not being complete or not being whole. Things that, and perhaps, and I'll word it this way: there are things that you may feel that you're not doing well enough, or that you haven't yet accomplished. And spirit saying, come on in back to yourself and look at your whole self. You're doing your best. The signs from the universe that are coming in at you are pointing into this wholeness within ourselves, and this feeling of completion. So if you're trying to untangle a lot of not feeling whole, or I don't feel complete, spirit is just bringing us back into our physical bodies, into our higher self, and just taking a look at all the things that we have done, not the things that we still have yet to do, because sometimes we grab at that. I haven't accomplished this, I haven't accomplished that. Things are still a little bit of a mess here and a little bit of a mess there, and we're just being leaned into. And the reason we're being leaned into that a little bit more is as I sat with this quite deeply, is we are ascending. We are connecting more and more to a higher level. And when you look around, just I know there's a lot of crap in the world right now, but there's also a lot of spirituality that's really growing. I'm seeing it at so many different levels with people. I'm seeing it in the youth that I connect with. I'm seeing it with friends. I'm seeing it with strangers. There's just this ascending and graduating to next levels that's coming up, and we can't pull away with what we haven't yet done, is what spirit is saying. Is we need to come in with this whole back into ourself, back into our higher self, so that we can continue with that growth without grabbing at what's still not right, or what's still not perfect, or what we still have yet to do, or all of the things on that list, right? The whole list piece of, I haven't done this and I haven't done that and I still haven't done that and I haven't mastered this and I'm still having knee-jerk reactions and I'm still processing and I'm still healing. We need to come back in. And and I've been saying that a lot lately, with with these energy updates. Spirit is wanting us more into that home space, and to kind of navigate through a little bit of that, our own spiritual connection, our own inner light, whatever word you want to use, whatever word resonates there with you. Start spending a little bit more time in there. Start giving yourself that pause to come back in, having a look, having a feel, sifting and sorting through those feelings, and allowing the healing to come in. It wants to come in really fast this week. The healing really wants to come in and nurture us and hold us and work with us, and help us move forward in that spiritual space. That is going to be a really big theme this week. And now, sometimes things come up that we don't really like, right? It may be a conflict with a friend or a spouse, or a stranger. It may be a conflict. And when it comes into us as conflict, what we're kind of being poked at, or what's being scratched away at us, is what there's healing here. There's something here that I need to tap into a little bit deeper, that it's for healing. And it's going to be loud and fast. So just take note. Remember that I said it, because when spirit speaks to me, it's for a really big reason when it comes to the collective, for sure. Um, I really I get it. The healing process and allowing that to come in, there's a few things that we untangle. Sometimes we get really stuck on the anger. Sometimes we get really stuck on the injustice. Sometimes we get really stuck on being hard on ourselves. I should have known better. I should have done that better. I could have. I should have. I would have. Those things are, as they come in this week, just try and find your own personal pause button. Hit it. I have an imaginary pause button. I just hit it, and I just have to pause and look at the whole picture. What is the universe trying to tell me about what needs to be healed? And when we pause with that, the whole reflection piece, the whole coming back into our higher self, into our spirit guides, the whole coming back into that is going to bring us to a better understanding. Understanding is going to be a huge theme through this healing, what seems to be very loud. Then there's going to be the whole motivation and resolution and sudden awareness. It's going to have literally like big aha moments. Oh, that's how I'm going to get there. Oh, that's what I need to let go. Oh, that's what's going to come. That's what's going to come. We're being asked to lean out of the lack of and into more of a changing pace. And it's going to come at us fast and furious this week. I just felt it coming in so fast. So when things come at us fast as humans, and spirit says we love you so much, but we love you so much, but when it comes to that, just take a big breath in and roll up your sleeves and say, yeah, it's time that this healing journey needs to have a little bit more momentum, a little bit more out of the lack, a little bit more of the gratitude, a little bit more of the letting go. We're always working on that. I say this all the time. The healing really never is never really complete. We're never completely healed because new stuff comes at us, and there's new lessons all the time. So just kind of keeping that in perspective as you navigate through this week. And like I always say, and like Spirit always says to me, just remember that you heard it. Spirit says that to me all the time because every now and again I'll pause. I'll be like, what? And I'll be like, no. And Spirit will say, remember that you heard it. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Let's scroll up to the top here. And take some questions. I thank you very much for joining me here today. And I'm also really surprised. I'll be honest with you. I'm really surprised I have a voice. Um, just all the cheering and the hollering that I did this weekend. I'm really surprised I have a voice. I'm really grateful that I have a voice. It is a little bit scratchy, but it's not as bad as what I thought it was going to be. Um, let's see here. Spring. Good morning, Lana and family. It's been a rough weekend for me, but glad to see the ladies got third place. Very proud of them. Thank you, Spring. I'm very proud of them too. The alignment that those kids had was incredible. The teamwork and the physical aspect of the game and the emotional aspect of the game. It was so incredible to just see the support. Um, Arlene, any messages from spirits or loved ones would be wonderful. Arlene, I'm not quite sure what you're overthinking, but that's the first thing that came into my mind was to slow down the overthinking. And your spirit guides are really trying really hard to step you out of that overthinking. So I feel like it's quite heavy. So I'm not quite sure what you're overthinking, but it feels like, or maybe perhaps it's everything, is bringing your awareness into not overthinking and just kind of leaning a bit more into the allowing space. The other thing, Arlene, that's coming up is allowing that love to come in a little bit more. I keep feeling perhaps you're going through it now, or perhaps it's coming forward for you, is allowing that heart space to crack open just a little bit more and a little bit deeper and letting love in. You're very good at pushing it all out, like letting love out and sending love to others and loving others through their stuff. I need to let some of that love into you. Allow what you put out to come back in. I just feel a little bit of a holdback, and sometimes we all do that, right? We're very good at supporting others, but when somebody says, something kind or tries to hold us a little bit tighter, sometimes we kind of stiffen up, and that's a little bit how I feel. Kayla, does spirit have any messages for me? I missed you. I'm glad you came on live today. Kayla, I really feel that I've got to I've got to get you clapping for yourself. I feel like accomplishments have been huge for you. I feel like you've been navigating, through a lot this year with accomplishments, and even the small ones. I've got to kind of like put my hands together and applaud. I also need you to cheer for yourself. And shout it out. Get out on your front step or even in your house and just shout it out for yourself. We don't cheer loud enough for ourselves, and I just feel like I've got to give that a try, Kayla. Give that a go, and it'll have a very interesting feeling when you're cheering. And this goes for any of you who want to cheer for yourself. When we cheer for ourselves, when we kind of give ourselves an applaud, when we kind of root for our own efforts, it has a very different feeling. And I think, Kayla, that I need to get you to feel that a little bit. Uh don't forget the thumbs up for the channel, guys. Thank you so much, Spring Hall. Uh, Aaron, good to see you here. I sort of made it said TB. Spring Hall, me too, Kayla. I lost a mentor this past week. Plus, my mom is waiting on a biopsy and results. So the weekend for me was rough. Um, Spring Hall, make sure that you're taking some time to breathe. I really feel that I've got to kind of remind you that big breath in. When things get a little bit rough, we tend to shallow breathe and we tend not to give ourselves that big breath in and that big release. I got to get you to practice a little bit of that. And whoever else that resonates with is being able to kind of blow it out. And I will often do that exercise myself. I'm just going to take a big breath in and blow it out and just let go. It tends to kind of give us a little bit more strength. Uh, Sone, oh my God, yes, I've been feeling strongly towards getting out of my comfort zone. Pushing ourselves out of comfort zones is a little bit of a struggle for many of us. We like to know is our human nature. We like to know, we like the comfort, we like predictability. We struggle when things change, and being able to pivot. We do struggle with that, right? And we also struggle as humans to navigate through the rough parts. We're really good at the good parts, but we tend to fight back on the rough parts. So just really pushing yourself out of that comfort zone. Motivation and awareness is huge. Is finding digging deep. Sometimes we have to dig really, really deep. Horizon Phoenix, in 2024, I will be able to find the doctors I need to catch up with appointments needed. It's been hard to do so far here in Missouri. Will I be able to find the doctors to catch up with appointments needed? Horizon Phoenix, I really feel a hard yes on that. I really feel that there's some light at the end of the tunnel here with that. I also feel quite strongly that your own pushing, your own advocating is going to be huge in success here. I need you to take the wheel, and really advocate loud and proud for yourself on that. TB, I would love to hear anything my spirit has for me. Thank you. And everyone hit the like button. TB, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I think this might be more from one person here, but I really feel I've got to tap into a little bit deeper here with this whole cheering for yourself. As soon as I read that, I have a applauding going on again. Are you guys not cheering for yourself or supporting yourself? I'm hearing it like almost continuous. It's almost been a big distraction. I've got to get you again to kind of look at, yeah, there's still a lot of work to do. And yeah, we still have, a lot of I have a lot of work to do. There's just this piece of being able to cheer for yourself and to be able to tap in with, heck yeah, I'm doing the best that I can from where I'm standing, and sometimes it's great and sometimes it's rough, but I'm doing the best that I can. I need to rant this morning. What's going on here, you guys? For those of you that resonates with, give that a go this week with being a little bit more of your own cheerleader. We are really good at cheering for other people, but there seems to be this energy this morning. I didn't pick up on it until I was literally channeling for you guys here. We need to cheer for ourselves. We really need to tap into that and give yourself a little bit more of that energy. And I think perhaps we do. It's because we do gravitate to validation from other people. We gravitate to a little bit too much. It's great to have validation, excuse me, and it's great to have validation from the spirit dimensions, but we also have to have that from ourselves. I also resonate with the 2023 message. Lately, I have been slowly ditching my future orientated thinking and focusing on mindfulness and the power of now. So that is such a powerful space to be. I am always continuously working on that myself. The power of now. This is where we're at, folks. We are here in the now. And there are some things that we kind of lean into as far as goal setting. When it comes to goals, I really try really hard to, with the whole mindfulness to allowing my goals to unravel as I learn them. The power of now is huge. The mindfulness piece is something that I think we're always continuously working on. I teach mindfulness. I'm always working with helping others be very mindful on how we talk to ourselves, how where our thoughts go, and being able to journal them is also a big help. Aaron, I got my neuro results. You said there would be something that was helpful and something unhelpful. I got some useful diagnosis, and the unhelpful thing was that some part of the result. Okay, Aaron, when I tap into that, I do feel good with the path that you're on with this. I do feel like there's support that you're on the right path. I feel like you've got the right support, and I feel like there's been like rings taken off of me now. Like I feel like I've tapped into, okay, we understand this. Now we can get to the next. Okay, I understand this. And I do feel quite good through that. Came across as lack of effort. Thankfully the doctor saw past it. I didn't know why that happened to me though, always seeming like I don't try when I do. Aaron, continue to acknowledge that you are trying, that you are working through this, that there is a lot of energy of support, that there is a lot of guidance here. Lean in there. Sometimes we do lean into I don't feel like it's enough. And just kind of bring yourself back into things are being sorted and I'm on the path. Really lean in there. So now I have a question regarding what you said about ascending. I read a book that souls have colors based on their level of growth. I was wondering what my soul's color is. Can you tap into it? Um, so I'm now like always, okay? I'm gonna say this, like always. Take what resonates and you leave the rest in anything, right? I'm very big on that. I feel that there is not a set color on soul ascension. I do feel that there is energetic color that we put out, and that changes as we grow and as we learn. And I also feel that the color, so I do see a lot of color around with the auras. I see color energetically. I also see vibrational frequencies, and they do change a lot all the time. I really feel, and this is just my experience. So again, I always say this to people: if it doesn't resonate with you, it's okay. It doesn't have to. But I don't feel there is a set color based on the level of growth. And when you think of that for just a moment, now I'm going to pick it apart a little bit. I've got my let's pick at that symbol going on. When you think about the different version of yourself, in an hour from now, you're going to be a different version of yourself because we're constantly changing and growing. Right? We're constantly growing and changing. Even those little wee lessons that we don't even realize is a lesson, it can be something very simple that we learn in a moment. I don't feel that there is a specific color geared to the level that we're at. I feel that energetically, the colors that we put out is more of an energy of what we're sitting in. So, for example, and what we surround ourselves. I want to add that spirit just whispered in my ear. Don't forget the energy that you surround yourself in. So for me, I always surround myself in white light. And for me, white light is protection, it's healing, it's growth. And I have had a lot of people come up to me very randomly and said, "There's a white glow coming off of you all the time." And people say that all the time. You like, there's a glow. There's like this light. I'm like, yeah, that's the light I put around myself. And it's also the angelics and the spirit guides. It's a combination of things going on right now. When we're putting out an energy of love, think about that for a second. When you're sending love, what color do you associate that with? For a lot of people it's red, a lot of people it might be blue, and I think it changes all the time because we're growing all the time. In my opinion, I don't feel that there is one set color for ascension. I just don't feel that. It doesn't resonate with me. So if that resonates with other authors and other spiritual workers, that's great. I feel that we're always changing and growing. So I don't feel like there's a set color for whatever level that we're at. It just doesn't sit it doesn't sit with me as a truth. And spirit doesn't show it to me that way. Um I also feel, and I teach this to my mentoring students, um, on what things mean for them. So, because I really feel that yes, there's great knowledge in books. Yes, there's great knowledge in mentors and people that teach this, but there's also there. You are an individual. You are an individual soul. You are an individual healer. You are an individual connector. We all connect to the spirit dimensions. And what that does that color mean to you? My students will say, I'm seeing green around that person, and I'll say, what does green mean to you? And green to some of my students means growth and heal, and other students it means healing. So it's what you see and what you connect with. I hope that I worded that um correctly for you, Sone. And I always say, and I'll say it again because I really feel it's important that we acknowledge what resonates with you, right? So there you go. That's my 2 cents on it. um I lost my spot. Shannon, I'm feeling my guides and angels around me more and more. Do they have any messages for me? Shannon, I do have a message there for you on that. The reason that your guides are coming in a little bit closer is not only have you grown and have you opened up a lot more to them, but there's new growth coming. So I feel like you've been working on something as far as your own spirituality goes. I feel like you've been asking them to come a little bit closer. And I feel that's a big reason why they have. I also feel that in that mix of guides and angels that are around you more, I also feel there's some new ones. I feel like you're tapping into a lot of new awareness, a lot of new lessons, um a lot of new steps forward. And as we navigate through that, I say it all the time, as a staff change, they come in a little bit closer to help us through that. Um, Sone, can you also pick a page from your spirit animal book for me? Much love. I certainly can. All right, Sone, so let's just ask what you need to hear and what you need to know. Lark, you're entering a cycle where you'll be completely happy and free of worry. Rather than looking at others, go inside and find awareness you're seeking. We just talked about that. Whatever you're doing, try singing softly or whistling as you do. The words you use and how you use them will take an immense power. So be aware of whether you're speaking lovingly or harshly, as your words will have a greater impact either way. Find your own power song by sitting in nature and asking your helping spirit to give you a song, and let that be the melody and the words that come to you as you sing them. I love that. We just talked about all this, right? And a little bit more into that. The words that you use and how you use them will take on immense power. That is true. That is so true. It comes along into that. What story are you telling yourself, right? The words that we use and the energy that we use them in, and that's really important too. The energy that we use them in, it's a form of manifesting. So if you are in this alignment that nothing is going right, nothing is going to go right. If you're in alignment that, yeah, it's hard right now and I'm learning and I'm going forward and I want to catch this lesson and I want to heal this part of my journey, that's what we bring in. And and it's how we use the words too, which is so important, right? So I'll use this. What's a good example of that? The words that we use have different meanings as well, right? So there's a comments, and I had one of my young youth ask me this question. It's funny, it's coming up. Um, there's a sentence right now that's going on a lot, is "I'm dying," and it has a whole different vibration. So I had somebody come to me and say, if I use that word, does it mean that I'm actually dying? But they're using is "I'm dying of laughter." I'm dying here. And and one of the things with that is, I mean, we're all here dying anyway. We're here living and we're going to leave here. But it's the words that we use and how we use them. The energy behind them is huge. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Let's see what else we got here. Silver baby wolves. I love that. It's always so funny going through all these feelings and hearing you say things like "a little reminder," because I know I'm like a signpost in people's lives, giving direction to people's paths. I love that. Good for you. And I love your handle on here. I don't always hear myself. Not always hearing ourselves comes with a little bit of practice and being able to find that quiet place, that quiet moment. It doesn't have to be long. You know, people always say, I don't have time to meditate. And I'll say, well, you don't have to have a lot of time. You just have to sit quiet and be able to hear ourselves. And the more that we practice that, the more we'll hear ourselves as we're functioning in different things. You know, I can be, you know, multitasking and cleaning the house and on the phone, and all of a sudden I'll be able to hear. And it just comes with a little bit of practice. So when you kind of insert, this is my minute, a minute is good. It's all I have today. This is my minute to just close my eyes and breathe in here. Right. And as we work on our spiritual senses, that gets a little bit crisper and a little bit crisper and a little bit crisper every time that we tap in there. Um, you brought me to tears. You're so right. Oh, Arlene, I'm glad that that resonates there with you. Jolene, another first celebration without my dad. Does he have any messages for me? Lana, he has missed tremendously. Jolene, we're gonna have this argument. Spirit argues with me all the time on this topic. And I know I've said this before, and I know you know this. So I think that it's time to practice something a little bit different. So as I'm reading it, Dad keeps saying, "Yeah, but I'm not going. I'm not gone. My physical body's gone. It's different for all of you here. He's grateful that he's missed physically, but he's hollering at me. I'm still here. Now, what helps us with that is, and I know that you do this, but as you navigate through the holidays, um, so do something really different that's going to help you all feel that he's still here. A great one and a common one is setting a plate at the table for him, putting a picture there, a piece of clothing over his chair. You know, it he's honored that he's missed, but he's on me that he's here. And you know, spirit has that argument with me every single time, all day long. Because for them, they're not gone. They're here and they're supporting and they're celebrating and they're hanging out with us. And as humans have this thing where they're not physically here. But we and I get it. I truly do get it. You know, I've explained it to them and they always answer me, yeah, but you've got to tap into the new version of me. You got to tap into the soul and the energy. You got to tap into bringing them a little bit closer and tap into that they're here celebrating, having a good time. You know, no matter where I go, especially during the holidays, spirits having a blast with us, or, you know, or they're holding our hands through hard times. For them, they're not gone. And, you know, it's about being able to shift into a different perspective and a different relationship. Yes, we will always miss that physical part, but they are always on me to look a little bit closer, to feel a little bit deeper that they truly are still here. Um, I once lost physically a very good friend of mine who was also very, very spiritual. And he said to me, you know, I am going to be present everywhere you go. And you're gonna have to dig a little bit deeper to feel me. And I never forgot that. And that was a long time ago that he said that. And I always took that and I always look for him wherever I go. Or where and I just kind of look for the sign or I feel the energy and if I don't, sometimes we don't. It's like I just don't feel it. I know that they're there, and I bring that into my awareness. I know that they're there. So, as you navigate through all of you, the difficult holiday season when we're missing loved ones in the spirit dimensions, pull them in a little bit closer, right? I know this is gonna sound funny, but it works for me. Um, pour them a drink, have a toast to them, or whatever it is that was part of your relationship here in the physical world, continue that. It does help you feel them, and and I get it, I get it, I get it. I argue with them all the time, and they always push back the same message. We're here. We're here. I enjoy being part of your world. Any messages from me this morning? Dee Dee, wow, Didi, when I felt into your vibration, you have really done a lot of clearing work. I feel like very crisp. I feel like I just feel so clear and so clean energetically. I just feel that there's this crispness to you, and I've got to get your feet dancing in that a little bit more. I've got to turn up the volume, and yes, you're really good at it. But what Spirit's saying is now it's even they just took my microphone and put it like I have it right here but it's like they literally just brought it a little bit closer of really speaking louder into it now, really coming a little bit more into your truth, a little bit more expansive, but it's so crisp. You've done a lot of crispness there. I love that so much. Um, Cheyenne, I've been working really hard on that cheering at myself the past week, loud and proud. Loud and proud, right? And that's something that I say to the hockey team all weekend. Let's go loud and proud, right? And loud and proud doesn't necessarily mean loud, as far not as far as your voice goes, but loud in your truth, loud in your power, loud and proud with it, right? Like, we struggle with feeling proud of ourselves, and part of that is there's many layers to that. Ego can get brought in there. Lack of self-esteem can get brought in there. But being proud of the work, even the hard parts. If I trip and fall on something that I'm learning, rather than beat myself up on that, I lean into being proud that I tried. I gave it a go. Right? I gave it a go. It didn't go well, fell on my face, skinned my knee, energetically and bruised, got some healing work to do, but I'm proud that I gave it a go. And that kind of helps lean into that. Wesley, I'm getting out of my comfort zone. I'm going more and more out in public in my comfy clothes. Wes, I'm telling you right now, I am so proud of you. Wes, you have been chipping away at working on yourself and mindfulness and energy, and I am so proud of you. And I'm sending you the biggest hug that I can possibly send, because it's hard work, and there's a lot around all of us that kind of pins us back into that growth space. But I am so proud of you. You do you, Wes, and wear what you want, because what other people think really doesn't matter. That's the bottom line. Um, the other thing is I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm not getting to the end of my life. And I don't want to be laying there. I don't want to be laying there and thinking, man, I didn't wear the socks or the shirt that I wanted. I don't want that to be part of my reflection when I get to my spirit council. I don't want that to be in my life review. And I ask myself that, what do I want in my life review? It's not going to be that I didn't live in my truth. I'll tell you that right now. If I have other things to review, it's going to be the bigger, harder stuff. It's not going to be, who I am or what I love and what I like. Right. So that's one thing that I'll ask myself. Do I want this in my life review? So, and I'll touch base a little bit on that. So, when I had my near death experiences, when I was up there, I don't like the near death word because I actually was gone. But anyway, when I went up there and had my own life review, that was one thing. When I came back, it's like, man, am I changing how I look at things? Because I don't want to review that the simple things, right? The little things. I want to if I have lessons to review, I don't want it to be those small little things. All right. Got a question on whether or not Spirit has advice for me about everything around work situation and where my focus lies. Cheyenne, the focus should be, and this is what I'm hearing, is allowing the growth. And if that means moving, I mean moving as far as mindset or thoughts or being able to pivot. And I really feel that the bigger picture and that whole completion and that wholeness will unravel as it needs to go. And I feel like the focus should be, I'm going to grow wherever I'm showing I'm growing, and I'm going to go wherever I'm showing that I'm going. I feel like just kind of softening a little bit and trusting the process and trusting. And I say that to Spirit all the time. What the heck is that? Why is this coming up? And Spirit will say, something to learn, something to grow, something to process, something to navigate through, and bringing yourself back into that. I'm going to allow processes. I'm going to allow growth. I'm going to allow resolution. I'm going to allow myself to go where I need to go. I'm going to allow myself to navigate in that perspective. And it sounds so simple, yet it's so hard. Allowing is the hardest thing, because we do want to have that control, right? We do want that. We like that sense of control. Let's face it, we love to control it. Right? We do. Like, how many of you love to control it? It doesn't mean you're controlling. You want control of it. You control the outcomes. You want to control when. You want to control how. You want to control where. You want to control who. Work on the allowing, and that goes for all of us. That's not solely for Cheyenne, but for Cheyenne, I just need you to kind of allow. Wes, like going to your PO box in your onesie. I love that. I got a few onesies myself, and I may navigate through a day or 2 soon in just a onesie and see how that goes for me. It's comfort, right? It's comfort. Comfort and joy. You know what? Comfort and joy. What brings you comfort and joy? Wes, it's your onesie, and that's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Horizon Phoenix, thanks, Lana. Um, I'm Cheyenne, I am. I'm using my positivity jar for that, writing down my accomplishments every day and being grateful for it. I love it. You're on the right track. Continue with that, Cheyenne. It's a continuation of where you are. Continuing, continuing. And Cheyenne, I'm gonna add to this. This goes for everybody too. The more that we work on that, the deeper we go. And the deeper we go, the more that comes in. So the more that you kind of keep doing that, Cheyenne, the deeper you will go. And the accomplishments start to pop up for us. Oh, look at that. I accomplished that. Oh, look at that. That's happening. Oh, look at that. Things start to go a little bit deeper when we kind of navigate through it from that. Diane, I'm very hard on myself. Makes sense. Makes sense you on your rant. um Spirit will go on a rant. They get in there and they will blah, blah, blah. They will go on a lovely rant. Nisa, just checking in any messages from guides or loved ones. Thank you, Lana. Um, Nisa, um, I'm being pushed. So whenever and I'm sitting crooked. Isn't that interesting? I'm being pushed to straighten up a little bit. And I mean that lovingly. I don't know if you've drifted a little bit into some old patterns or old thoughts. It might be the thought process. I don't know if because I feel like I'm in my head quite a bit. I've got to get you, the way back into a better posture. Like I have to straighten myself up. And it's not a bad thing. It's not like it's just like I think it's the overthinking or you've leaned back into an old way of thinking. There's something there that they're just saying, straighten up, straighten that thought, the way back into a thought process. There's something there with thought. Aaron, some days are good. I'm good at cheering for myself, and some days I'm terrible. Yeah. And on those terrible days, we've got to cheer even louder. Right? When I'm and and I'll include myself in that. There are days where I need to go to the mirror and have a real good heart to heart with myself. Um because we do get really down and really hard on ourselves, and it's being able to and after I do that, after I kind of have that talk and remind myself that I'm doing the best that I can from where I'm standing, and today's a gong show. Once I kind of hear those words, it kind of gives me a different perspective. It kind of softens that hard on myself piece. Okay. Cheyenne, last week I wrote a poem about the power of now, inspired by a beautiful, calming, petting moment I had with a horse. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. 2023 was such a hard year. Feeling like 2024 will be a lot lighter. It has to be. I do feel 2024 is coming in with a little bit of a lighter feeling, but it's also coming in with a lot of spiritual growth for many of us. There's going to be a huge spiritual shift in 2024, and I'll share more of that as we get closer to 2024. Peyton, finally, finally feeling like myself at the end of a 5-year relationship. So much healing and lessons in this. Tons of healing and lessons in this, and I feel, Cheyenne, as the healing journey continues to be pushed, I feel like you're gonna feel. You can message me later, Peyton. I feel like you're gonna feel that faster momentum with the healing this week. I really feel you're gonna tap into that. Um, Ria, are there any messages from you with respect to my love life? What should I be doing? Thank you so much. Ria, I feel like you're doing fairly well there with yourself. The one thing that I really feel I have to tap in there a little bit more, is a little bit more of that self-love and that worthiness. I feel like we all have work on to do in that. We can all tap in on how worthy I am. I'm not sure, Ria, why I have to say this, but I have to say it is I also really have to know what I want, know what I don't want. Because I feel like you're just kind of sitting in that a little bit where you're not quite sure what you want and what you don't want. I just got to clean that up a little bit. There's just something there energetically for me that it's I would rather not have something than to compromise myself. I just feel like I needed to say that there. Um, so I hope that makes sense. That mug is meant to be. Yeah, that's funny. Thanks, Lana. You're definitely right. I'm just not sure where to go now. I guess I gotta allow spirit to show me the way. I hear my spirit guides giggling. Absolutely. And that's one thing, Cheyenne, that I say all the time to spirit is show me. Show me. Yeah, and sometimes I don't like what I see. Right? So, and that's okay, good, because spirit will show me both sides of it too, right? They will show us the red flags, and I'm okay with that. It can just be a little bit hard sometimes, for all of us, right? When we see things or we get that feeling, but allowing that whole allowing space that is huge, and it came up in the morning channeling this morning as well. So you always okay, let's see, here we go. Aaron, Cheyenne, that feels like I told you so giggle. Ha! Yeah, that's a giggle that I think we've all had a few times, is that I told you so. And let's tap into that for just a minute. How many times have you had that knowing not to do something and you did it anyway? And it was like, oh, I knew it, right? I knew it. Intuition or spirit guides, wherever that information is that you're channeling from, we've all been there. And sometimes there is, all you can do is laugh that off. Many times I've had to laugh that off. Spirit has told me that quite a bit. Told you. Showed you here, showed you there, showed you here, showed you there. Um, and it's okay. It's part of the learning. And that's one thing that with the healing part is sometimes it's our own stuff that gets us in a predicament, and we just have to acknowledge the learning. And that can be a big step in the healing. I'm gonna acknowledge that I was learning that. And what comes with that is that self-forgiveness piece. Sometimes we got to forgive ourselves, for the energy that we put ourselves in, right? I got to forgive myself. All right, let's see where we need to go here. I do have to watch the time here. I know I'm a little bit over. Camilla, I have been told to spend money on myself, not just others, and I just did that, but I feel so guilty. It was in my budget, but still, Christmas gift to me, I guess. Camilla, you know what you're saying here, Camilla? You're saying that you need a little bit more too. We need to give to ourselves too. And it can be in many different ways. Whether it be buying yourself something special, or doing something special just for you. And sometimes just shutting it all down, and just saying, turning the phone off, soaking in the tub, or whatever it means for you to disconnect and give a gift to yourself. It's the self-care. We struggle with that whole guilt because and there's a few reasons, is we kind of have this programming, and sometimes it's our own thoughts that put us into, it has to be about everybody else, and it's selfish to treat yourself, and it's selfish to do this for yourself. And the word selfish itself is, sometimes we need to be selfish. I have to be, one thing that I've learned to be selfish with is my time. I've learned to be selfish with my time, and that is the gift that I give myself. I give a lot of my time to other people, and I will forget to give myself some time to be selfish that way and say, "You know what? All about me today." And that's a big lesson for many of us, is to be able to put ourselves first and being able to treat ourselves. But think about all the hard work that you do. If there's no treating yourself, if there's no saying, "Good job, Camilla," let's buy myself this, or let's take myself there, or let's just lay in the couch in comfy pajamas all day and give myself that gift. If you don't gift yourself something, we become very tired. We become very tired. And then when we get really tired with doing things for other people all the time, you know what happens? We do lean into a little bit of resentment, right? And when we lean into a little bit of resentment, what happens is eventually that cork blows. That cork blows. It's like a bottle of champagne. Pop. And when you think about it for a moment, somebody asks you one more thing. If somebody asks me one more thing, right? If I have to do one more thing for somebody else, and then all of a sudden we knee-jerk reaction and we're hollering at people, or we're having a moment, or we're ticked off and we're stomping our feet, and it's just because we haven't put ourselves first sometimes. And we need to call ourselves out on that. It usually has nothing to do with other people. It has to do with where we put our own boundaries, or we haven't rewarded ourselves, or we haven't treated ourselves to something. And we all have that within us. You're not the only one. But for me, I always take a look at what do I need too, right? We've got everybody else, and then we've got ourselves too, and we need to take a look at what do I need, because if your spiritual gas tank is not filled up, if your feel good, button is not pushed to, if we do struggle, and we do bring in a lot of emotions. And that whole resentful piece, I do for people, and that whole give back piece, we need to give back to ourselves, right? And people will honor that. People will honor that. People that are really close to me know that my time is precious, and when my phone shut off, or if I need a break, it's honored. And we teach that to other people as well. If we're not treating ourselves well, don't expect other people to treat you well. Hear that, right? Hear that, right? It's the boundary piece, and it's how we, the energy that we put out about ourselves. If we don't put out an I matter too, if we don't put out that I need a break too, people don't necessarily know that we do, right? Yeah. This has been a lovely chat this morning. The 12/12, so December 12th, 12th month, 12th year, understanding and having the whole picture, conclusion, resolution. Where can you use some of this in your life? Where can you use in your own life some understanding, some resolution, right? Have a feel, have a look. Let us see what we all need here. Oh, let's see. Validated. I love that. Treat yourself the same way you treat those you love the most. Absolutely. A lot of us are feeling more open after this time. So much open energy. Oh, it's so open. And you know what? There is a huge, we are going to become more and more open. There is a huge, and I'll tell you, yes, we're paving the way, but I'll tell you, the younger generation is turning up the volume on the openness. They are so open. Right. So open. We just have to make sure that we're not shutting that openness down. And just listen to those words. Don't shut their openness down. They are so open if you're willing to listen. Maybe we'll do two. Let's see. Let's do the angel. I don't know why I'm gonna do the angel one. All right. I opened up on 62. I just opened the book. I was actually going to do number 12. Maybe I'll go back and do number 12, but I opened it up in 62. Keep believing that the details of your life are working out in miraculous ways. Your faith opens the doors for miracles. Love that. Love that. 12. Keep your thoughts positive about the future, as what you are thinking influences your future. This is the message to keep your faith and hope strong, because these are strong determining factors right now. Thoughts create things. Thoughts create things. All right. Let's all just take a second and tap into what do we need to know as a group collectively. What's our message today? Bobcat, also known as the wildcat. One of your tasks right now is to learn to live alone without feeling lonely. This is a time to be vigilant, remaining alert and relaxed as you can, with all of your senses available as needed. You'll find that you're much better at discerning what lurks behind the persona that someone presents. If something doesn't feel right, trust your instincts rather than what others are telling you or showing you. Be careful at this time about what you share with someone else, even in confidence, as there is some risk that it will be passed on to others and either distorted or blown out of proportion. That was interesting. Very interesting. Um, I'll just touch base on that a little bit deeper. I don't share anything until it's a done deal. In my personal life, I don't share, and literally, I'm very strict with that. Even in my personal, even with like people that are really close, even with my partner, I don't share with them. And there's a few reasons, and it has nothing to do with not trusting them, or it has nothing to do with not trusting other people. Is I really strongly feel that energy is precious to me, and I want to be able to feel my own, and I want to be able to hear them without influence. And I also that's just a Lana thing. I'm very my boundary on that with myself is very clear. I keep it very tight, and it's sacred to me. right? So, and I trust them more than I trust here anyway. So, but yeah, that's just how I'm very tight with that. I don't share until, and it's not because I don't want to. It's because um I don't want fog brought in. Right, I don't want fog, and I take everything to my spirit council anyway. That's where I take everything. But anyway, um, let's see what Wednesday looks like. Such a true message with the winter solstice coming, going within and finding strength in the stillness of a darker months. Absolutely. Cheyenne, I don't share specific things with everyone or anyone either for similar reasons. Maybe it's an Aquarius thing. Um, us Aquarians have very interesting energy to begin with. Um, Energetically. So when you think of energy is based, I have value other people's opinions, but I don't want to make my own decisions based on other people's experiences. That's how I like to word it. I also have learned, and some of it is personality too, your own personality. How easily influenced are you? How easily influenced are you? Are you influenced a lot with other people's thoughts? I like to make up my own mind, and I like to sit with spirit. And that's just what I've learned really works for me. That's where I get all my channeling of what spirit wants me to do. um, I also really feel that if I'm going to learn lessons, I want them to be my lessons. I'm done with learning lessons based on other people's opinions or choices. Done. I outgrew that many years ago in my life. So so it's and I gotta take ownership of my own lessons and not other people. And I also like when we lean too much on what other people think, we get pulled off of our own path. There's a nice way of putting it, right? We get pulled off of our own path. If I need an opinion, I take it to my higher self or I take it to my spirit council. That's where the opinions that really matter to me are, right? Because we get too pulled in on the other opinions of other people, and then we start doing things to serve other people, and we get pulled out of that. We get pulled out. So there we go. Wednesday, I got distracted. Let's see where I am on Wednesday. I haven't looked. Oh, I'm Zoom on Wednesday. I do have Zoom clients on Wednesday, so I will be here Wednesday morning. I will see you then. I also have a Sugar Daddies event this week, and I'm looking very much forward to it. With a group event, and it is for charity. It is for nutrition for learning, which is a big passion of mine. Charity and work and helping others overall is a big passion for mine, but I can't handle the thought of kids going to school hungry or being hungry. I can't. So I've got to do something to help, to help and do my best to help and support that. So if you have tickets to that event, I'll see you there. If you're looking for tickets to that event, there's still some on the website. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you all on Wednesday. As always, love, light, blessings, and of course, a spirit guided day. Take care, my friends.